I was not expecting to make a video right now. However, I got a notification on my phone while I was editing one of my Halloween videos. Well, you see it in the top right corner of this. I keep hearing news about Sniper Wolf. I have to say it like that. It's... Excuse me. It's too tempting not to. So now TheActMan is covering it? I'm sorry, but I love TheActMan too much not to see this, and I want to share this with you guys. I'm so excited.
What's up, everybody? This is the Doxing Man here, and today we're talking about my future ex-wife, the Doxing Woman, aka the Sniper Wolf. Just kidding. I have no intentions of courting this woman. I think I would have better luck seducing a rattlesnake into biting my flaccid cock. In the Dark Side of Reaction content video, we touched on Sissa Sniper Wolf and her amazing reaction videos. For those out of the loop, Sniper Wolf is one of YouTube's largest creators, and she's been accused of being a content...
Honestly, before her controversy, I've heard of her maybe like twice. And that's because I've been watching videos from people in her circles. Outside of like reaction and review communities, no fucking idea who this woman was. Like, literally, I didn't know until I got really big into reaction channels. Never knew.
By Jax Films. In my opinion, her only talent is lying and deceiving her audience. And oh boy. Ooh.
I just took... Actually, no. It's because I came across her. That's how I learned about her, is that I came across her by accident. I saw her video. I saw like a short or like a clip, and I'm like, this is stupid. She's not even reacting. She's just saying what's happening. The fuck is going on? And that's exactly what the controversy is about. How it started is because all she would do... She's not a reaction channel. She's just a thief. And I don't care if she comes out... Honestly, I'm going to say this right now. If anybody takes any criticism I give them on the internet and uses that as a reason to become a physical threat to my family and show up at my house like she did with Jax Films, you're getting shot. Do not step on my property. I will blow a hole through your skull the second you become a danger to my family. I will kill you. I'm not Jax Films. I'm not afraid to go to prison to protect my family. Just like my mom's not afraid to go to prison. I mean, I'm afraid of prison, but not more than I'm afraid of my family getting hurt. Because of your ridiculous, insane actions. Like, he has to move now. He can't stay there. Jax Films, where he lives now, he can't stay there now because of her. Because now his family, his entire family is in danger. In real physical danger. People don't realize how crazy other people seem to be. Like, people who do that shit, who dox in that way, I don't know a lot about doxing, but the way, what Sniper Wolf did, and people who do that, you don't realize that you are immediately putting that family in danger. Whoever lives at the house, you just put them in danger. There's a reason why people block any information that can have them be located, why people use VPNs and stuff. Because you just told 5 million people minimum, because of your fans that were watching at the time, where this man lives. That's 5 million people that potentially hate Jax Films because of what he's saying about Sniper Wolf. And might live near him, and might be willing to kill him. I mean, I remember one time there was this dude that abused his animal, his pet or something, like his cat or a turtle or something, and people on 4chan watched the video, and then they figured out where he lived, and then they turned him into the police. So now that you have shown where Jax Films lives, now he is open to be either murdered or raped or, you know, had false accusations thrown towards him more effectively because they know where he lives, and they could probably find out his government name if they can't already find out. They could definitely find out now that they know where he lives. They could fuck with him and his family so much now. Like, you just put his family in mortal peril, and you're lucky that he's a nice guy because he could have shot you in the face. And honestly, like, a lot of people probably wouldn't have blamed him because you just put his entire family in mortal, like, lethal danger for no reason. Like, he would do that, and people wouldn't be surprised by that. They'd be like, yeah, I could see him doing that after she did that to him. Like, because now he might get murdered at his house. Somebody might pull up to his house and do a drive-by because he doesn't like Sniper Wolf. Or just because of something else he said on the internet. There's a difference between being able to be accountable for what you say and the person you say something to being, or say something about, being an insane lunatic and putting you in real physical danger. It's just, it bugs me so hard that people don't seem to understand that concept of you doing things like that. There's a reason that doxing is a crime. Last time, is doxing a crime actually? I thought it was. I am 90% sure doxing is a crime, but What? It's not illegal. It needs to be illegal. That's insane. I mean, it needs to be illegal. That's an insane thing. I thought it was illegal. I really did, because it just seems something that would be common sense to be illegal. To expose where someone lives against their will like that in a confrontational manner, basically promoting violence. I mean, honestly, she's literally asking him to come outside so she could fight him. She may not have said to fight him, but we all know that's what she was going to do. She was immediately going to try and claw his eyes out. And the reason she exposed his house in the first place was to make him afraid of physical violence, of her fans hurting him. Because they fucking might. They really might. I hate Sniper Wolf so bad. I don't hate her. I don't really hate anybody, but it just really makes me angry when people do shit like this. Just like I went ballistic. Not really, but I was like very irritated when Quantum TV called TheActMan's mom. When I heard about that, my immediate thought was, you need to kill Quantum TV. You need to shoot him. He needs to die. Because the second he does that, he becomes a threat to your family. He just became a threat to your mom as far as I'm concerned. And I was right, too, because he fucked up his wife. Dude beat his own wife when she left him because he's fucking crazy. People don't realize that people on the internet, a lot of us are crazy. I'm not like that. I'm not going to go up and start killing people. Like, I will do what I have to defend myself and my family. And on a standpoint of needing to protect your family, I think I would not have blamed TheActMan for killing Quantum TV if he had. Just like if ActMan did that to somebody and he got shot, I would be like, well, you shouldn't have threatened his family. You shouldn't have threatened that dude's family. It's his fucking fault for doing that. I switched between you and he. Like if you call someone's mom and the next day that mom's kid shoots you in the face, you literally have no one but yourself to blame. You instigated conflict by doing that, because what you're doing is really saying, I know how to get to your mom, leave me alone or I'll kill her. That is what that says. That is the conclusion that anyone who experiences that will conclude, is that you are threatening death. Because that is the only conclusion you can come to in order to keep your family safe. Because if you don't go to that extreme, eventually someone is going to go to that extreme, and then suddenly your family's dead because you weren't prepared for physical violence. You know what I mean? It makes me so mad when people do shit like this and they get away with it. It doesn't make sense. YouTube should have immediately banned her entire account or sued her for doing this. She needs to have legal or serious financial consequences. The government needs to freeze her bank account or something. This woman is insane for doing that. Honestly. If she gets shot for
She's
this...
been lying right from the start.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But we'll get into that. Since the Sniper Wolf's content is so great, in fact, that she took a page out of my book and started her very own Doxing Adventures video series, where she showed up uninvited to the home of Jack's Films and posted it on her Instagram.
Remember when he made a joke about doxing on Twitter and it got him banned from YouTube? Or like, they didn't ban him from YouTube. They made him not a partner anymore. And then when someone actually did it, they said nothing. Why? Could it be because she's super famous and makes them money? Maybe. I think it's because they don't want to get crucified by the SJW communities. Like people, like not feminists, the fake feminists you see on the internet and on TV. Those ones that are actually just fascists. Like those ones, YouTube doesn't want them to crucify them, so they're not gonna do anything to this famous white lady. Because if they do, they're gonna be like, well, why didn't you do that to TheActMan or to Quantum TV? It's because she's a woman, isn't it? And then they're gonna freak out. And then
deleting it.
Then YouTube's gonna be fucked.
I made a joke about doxing about a year ago.
Oh, look at that, he's mentioning it now.
That joke got my entire channel demonetized for a month. So what the fuck's gonna happen to Sniper Wolf when she actually does the thing I joked about? This woman has no chill. A channel with 34 million subscribers just
honestly, I think I Show Speed had more consequences for scamming than she did for doxing. And she needs to have more dire consequences. Look, to be fair, I do not condone physical violence against anyone. I believe you should defend yourself. And if someone did view killing her as defending themselves after she did that to them, I would not blame them. However, I would never condone that. Obviously. I do not condone murder. I don't condone killing. Like, outside of you need food, so go kill that deer over there kind of way. You know what I mean? Like, I'm strictly speaking of you have become a danger. I need to make sure my family survives. I need to protect myself and my family. That is the extent that killing should ever be for in terms of human on human violence. It should only be a defensive thing when you have your back against the wall and you are in danger. On the other hand, but still, like if Jax Films killed her, I wouldn't be surprised, and I might be a little bit surprised. He doesn't seem like a killer, but like I kind of wouldn't bat an eye. I'd be like, shit, she shouldn't have fucking doxed him. I don't know. I'm trying not to sound I'm just trying not to sound like a monster, okay? Because this is what because if I don't explain myself properly, it's gonna sound like I'm a serial killer. I'm not. I just believe in being able to defend your family. Not being able to. I just believe in defending your home and your family. Obviously, like that's just like logic to me. You know, it's common sense. Protect your family. Even if that means you have to face serious consequences or even death. That's just how it goes. That's what I was taught what was right. Somebody shows up at your front lawn with the intent of threatening you and putting you and your family in danger by exposing your address to millions of angry people that honestly really might kill you and your family. You walk out of your yard with a gun, you blow her kneecaps out at least, or hit center mass, something, or you just go out and you fuck up that person. And by the way, when I say something like that, it's kind of like a transcending any kind of race or sex, because I don't care if it's wrong to hit a woman. If that woman is trying to get my family killed, you're going to die. You are going to die. If you are standing on my front lawn with the intent of putting my family in danger, I'm fucking you up. At the very least, I'm rocking your shit in a way that you have never been fucking rocked before. I'm fucking beating the snot out of you. I'm beating the literal shit out of you. I will punch you in the face until you shit yourself. I don't care. Whatever the bare minimum is to make sure that my family is safe, I will do. Even if it means I go to prison. Because again, I'm more afraid of my family being hurt than me going to prison. I would rather beat someone until they are completely unrecognizable than allow them to put my family in danger. And that sounds really extreme and violent, but it's just me to kind of convey how serious what she's done is and how normal people would legitimately react. Because if I guarantee you, if I went to my friends, anybody that I know even, and it just was like, honestly, if somebody did that to me, I'd fuck them up. I might even kill them. They would be like, yeah, same. They just put your entire... Like, I have a friend who has a kid on the way. If someone didn't like what I said about Sniper Wolf and decided to expose his address and all his information and shit on the internet, that you're getting jumped. at the very least, you're getting fucked up by somebody. You're not walking away unscathed after doing that. I'll pull a 4chan on your ass and have you hunted down. I don't fucking care. Could you imagine like what could happen to him and his family? His family can't move. They're not in a spot where they can move right now because they're normal people. They can't just upheave their life and move somewhere else. We all have bills to pay and money to scrounge up and jobs to grind. You know, we're normal, ordinary people. We don't have like $1 million to just move to a different house. We just put like a baby's life in danger if you did that. You know what I mean? It's just perspective. I don't know.
On YouTube. This is fucking insane.
In my 17 years on YouTube, I've never once had someone...
God, has it been like 17 years already? How old is YouTube? How old is YouTube? Siri might need a minute on that one. Oh, no, it's just still reading sounds. Never mind.
One come to my home and vaguely threaten me. Sniper Wolf needs to be deplatformed.
She needs to be jumped, bro. She needs to learn there are consequences for doing shit like that. She needs to either be arrested by the cops or jumped by gang members. And I do mean jumped and nothing else.
In this exact moment, she turned from a mere content thief to someone who doxes and stalks her critics.
Honestly, that's like domestic terrorism at that point. You're using fear to subdue people's opinions about you. Last time I checked, using fear and violence in order to shape the world is called terrorism. Is that not domestic terrorism to a T? It's not a bomb, but you're using an internet platform to basically be a cyber terrorist in order to force other people to live your way or to be killed by 5 million people that follow her. I don't know. It just seems kind of terroristy to me. And this is coming from an Arab who has spent his entire life running away from terrorist accusations since he was 11.
Do actions in real life and off-platform affect your standing on YouTube? How should doxing be punished? Does YouTube play favorites with certain creators?
Of course it does.
All these questions and more will be answered. But first, are YouTube...
Just like how they let Quantum TV get away with all his shit because, oh no, a white YouTuber called him out and was pretty confident in himself. But Corey Kenshin is getting like his shit demonetized or it's not getting picked up by the algorithm. And we all know it's because he's black. And it happens to a lot of creators of color. I don't know how else to phrase that. But like, obviously that's not the only reason. But like, ones that are popular and are like good at what they do, who still don't get the attention they deserve, and they just a lot of them just so happen to be black, I don't think that's a coincidence. And it's weird how they do that.
Lazy to cook healthy meals yourself, relying too much on ordering fast food to your house? Then you need to factor in the sponsor of today's video.
I might have to delete some of this because it makes me sound like a fucking psycho. Because
Factor. You can skip all the grocery lines, meal prepping and planning, and get tons of healthy meals delivered straight to your house.
Wait, what the hell?
Always fresh, never
I didn't even
frozen
realize.
ingredients. If
I
Gordon
zoned out for a
Ramsay
second. I
happens
didn't
to
even.
stop by your house, he won't be disappointed. Each meal can be cooked. This whole situation is really unfortunate for YouTube because Sniper Wolf is a creator that YouTube themselves have promoted. And now she's doxing another creator and showing up to his house. That's a big fucky wucky to untangle. On her story, she posted, "Should I go to Jack's Film's house? He lives 5 minutes away from my shoot."
Okay, first of all, why do you know that? How the fuck do you know that? And why was that ever a good idea for you? Why would you announce that to the world before you even do it, proving that it was premeditated and not just a thing of passion? You're so stupid.
That sounds like a really good idea if you're a psycho bitch. And then while Jack was live streaming, guess who showed up?
While he was live streaming! That's insane!
Now, Jack.
Shut up.
She's
You wanna get
literally
a knock on
outside
your
house.
door? Like 5 minutes ago.
Wait, what?
She's literally right outside your
Oh
house.
my god!
police.
Fucking
Look how confused he is. He's like,
call
what?
the police.
No, there's a video.
She's outside your house right now.
What the fuck?
Holy shit.
She literally
on her
posted a video on her story 5 minutes ago.
I'm
of her.
reporting
Oh my god.
I mean, if he had said some wild shit, I'm gonna be honest, I would not blame her. If he had started throwing wild accusations at her and saying horrible things and slurs and shit and exposing, like, I don't know, taboo or intimate details about her and her family that don't need to be shared with the rest of the world, I would understand her pulling up. Be like, pull up, bitch, let's go. I'm at your house right now. Let's fucking square up. That's different. But also, you would still need consent to video that shit. Otherwise, that's gonna go from a fight to you getting jumped and your phone being destroyed, and whatever vehicle you had being sold to a chop shop.
She's outside our house.
Honestly, it's just the stupidest thing. Is she alone when she did this? Because if she's just a grown woman, just going to another, like a grown man's house alone in the middle of the night, because I think it was at night when she did this. Like, honestly, that's some bold shit. That's some ghetto shit right there. That's something some of the people I grew up with would have done. Some of them. Like, because there's just a level of mixture of both traditional ghetto and traditional stupid twisted together in her brain. I don't know where she gets that shit from, bro. I mean, who's that dumb?
Jack
But if she
responded by
didn't show up
tweeting,
alone, then at
Sniper
least
Wolf
she's
just
not
dogged me on her
completely
Instagram.
stupid.
Creepy,
She's just crazy.
gross, violating. What you do is disgusting. You steal content and stalk YouTubers
Goddamn.
at YouTube. Demonetize this dangerous creator or just get her off platform. She posted an Instagram story right outside our home and deleted it. It's time to get her off the platform. She's no longer a silly creator that steals content, teehee. She's a creep that stalks and threatens her critics. So let's hear Sniper Wolf's justification for showing up to his house. This creep has been harassing me for months, then plays victim, saying I threatened him when I just wanted to talk.
If you just wanted to talk, you wouldn't show up on his front fucking lawn. You would email him, or text him, or call him directly saying, hey, this is Sniper Wolf. Can we talk? This isn't a threat. Actually, if you want lawyers present, that's fine. I would like to talk this out because I don't like what you're saying about me. And I would like to at least like get my side spoken out. You know what I mean? That would be reasonable if she like called him on the phone or some shit. If she was like, nice enough and reasonable enough, even that is more reasonable than showing up on your front lawn. Who shows up on somebody's front lawn like, I just want to talk and gets believed? That's insane. That's an insane excuse. Only a child or a lunatic.
Why do you have a shotgun?
I just want to talk to him.
Dad,
I wouldn't be surprised if she was strapped when she showed up at his house, honestly.
this is ridiculous.
I just want to
Put
talk
that
to him.
gun
I
away.
just want to talk to him.
What
I
are you
just want to
doing?
talk
It
to
is
him.
not his
I
fault.
just want to shoot him.
I have no
I
ill
just wanna shoot him.
intentions. It's so sad when people have to constantly create drama to pay their bills. Look at
You're
this asshole
doing
playing
that!
victim when I show up uninvited to his house and post this information on my fucking Instagram account. Yeah, apparently this was just a big joke to Sniper Wolf and her sister. Her sister saying, damn, does he not know how to fight or something?
Does he not know how to fight? He shouldn't have to fight. He didn't even say anything that crazy about you. He just pointed out that you're stealing. You don't even give credit to people. He just pointed out facts about you. He didn't say anything weird or off color. I've seen some of the shit he said. Not once have I ever seen him say anything that's really out of pocket. He said reasonable, real things about you that you can't prove isn't real because you are doing these things. Like, I hate that shit. I grew up with people like that would try to fight because they got called out for being shit people. I don't really watch his stuff. Like, I've seen glances of him on the internet here and there. But, like, he's not really, like, one of the people I watch, so I don't know a lot about him. But not until the Sniper Wolf thing started happening.
This is not a joke.
So were you there? You were there to pick a fight? No ill intentions, huh? We show up at your house. What do you do? What do I do?
Call the police.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance!
Not for me.
But not for me.
Honestly, why didn't Jack's films? I mean, I guess the optics wouldn't look good. He doesn't really look like a fighter. He might be though. I don't know. I mean, it kind of doesn't. Women could fuck you up too, man. I mean, my mom used to be able to like bend steel with her bare hands. It's crazy. Like, you never fucking know. Being a woman doesn't mean you're not dangerous. I mean, I remember one time my mom got into a fight. Like she was being attacked. So you know what she picked up for a weapon? A 50-pound dumbbell. She held it like it was brass knuckles, like it was a feather in her hand, and she just socked the motherfucker with it. Shit is scary. Like, you never know. Like, you know, it's like, personally, I would have gone out there, and if she put hands on me, the second her hands touched me, I would have fucked her up. You know, obviously, I would try and de-escalate the situation. I'll be like, why are you in my house? You need to leave. I get if you don't like my criticisms of you, that's fine, but this is inappropriate. If you do not leave, I will call the police. Like, I'll say that, and I'll stay calm. Second her hands get on me, all bars are gone. Gloves are off. She is breaking some bones that day. She is losing pieces.
I call the police
I'll maul
and
her like a
report
fucking
you to
bear.
YouTube. Jack also said, Sniper Wolf, you showed up to our home tonight and filmed it for your Instagram followers to see. The harassing you claim I've been doing is documenting recent examples of you stealing creators' content, stealing jokes, and failing to provide transformative commentary. Obviously, it struck a nerve, but wow, doxing me was not on my bingo card.
I might have to start watching his stuff. This dude sounds really funny.
Fucking got him. Of course, Sniper Wolf also had to play the sexism card. 400 videos online shitting on someone, but wanting to talk IRL goes too far? Modern men are actually a joke. Modern women are a fucking joke if you're an example of them. Jesus Christ. It's comments like these that really make me
That's hilarious.
want to be sexist. Accusing me of
I don't-
doxing is defamation.
I don't know about that. I was raised by a woman that was both feminine and masculine at the same time. As I've said on this channel, I don't know which of those videos I've recorded that I posted telling you about my mom. But as someone who grew up with someone like my mom, who is not only like just physically powerful, very intelligent, but also has a strong moral center. Why am I talking about this like he's really considering going to sexism? Obviously, he's joking. What the fuck am I doing? I'm tripping balls, man.
I have no idea how to dox.
Liar!
I don't know what's worse, how she's defending herself, or the fact that she thinks anybody's gonna buy this. So I did a Twitter
Honestly,
space with like
I'd be
Keemstar.
surprised if her fans even believe her. Because, I mean, there are some stupid people out there that might believe her.
And some other guys, and
And
we
some
had a real
sexists that
tough
will believe
time
her.
finding someone who defended Sniper Wolf and was on her side. And
Really?
the only person we could find was someone who thought that doxing wasn't a bad thing to do. I'll play some clips, but this guy just said some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Come on, Vito. She broke the TOS.
She
Come
did
on,
not
Vito.
break
Let's
the
be real.
TOS at all. This
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
A tiny lady shows up to your house and says, "I'd like to talk."
Yeah, a tiny lady who could have a gun.
Oh
the
my
gun
God!
equalizes.
Maybe
That's
she
also
has a
true.
fucking rocket launcher. Maybe she'll shoot you to death with a laser
I
cannon.
literally said a handgun, not a
Anything
rocket
could
launcher.
That's literally just sexism talking at that point. That person's opinion is completely invalid. I usually don't like saying that because everybody's entitled to their opinion or whatever. But, like, at that point, you're just being an asshole. You don't know what danger is out there. And you also, there's the fact that a lot of society is still pretty sexist. So if he did go out there and fight her, because she was there to fight, there is no doubt about it, he probably would have gone to prison. He would have gone to prison if he even made it to prison, to be honest. He might have been raped and murdered long before he ever got to jail. Just jail, not prison. Because she's a woman. It doesn't matter if she attacked him first. If he puts hands on her, whether it's to defend his family or not, or if his life is in danger, he will likely go to prison for that. And while I don't have a problem with that, because obviously I value my family over my freedom and my butthole, sorry, if he doesn't want to do that, if he doesn't want to go to prison, he is entitled to not do the thing, that will get him sent to prison. I'm pretty sure everyone is entitled to not do things that will get them sent to prison. You know what I mean? Like, any average person. You know? Is that not common sense? That, oh, I don't want to do a thing because I'll definitely get sent to prison for that. Oh, you're a bitch because you didn't want to go to prison for something. Haha, what are you, scared of a weak little lady? Yeah, because she can get me raped in prison for the rest of my life. Fuck off. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, it's common sense. Like, did this dude not grow up around women to know that if you put your hands on a woman, even if she has a gun to your head, you're immediately gonna get jumped, raped, and sent to prison? That is how that cycle goes. You will be, and when you get out, no one's gonna talk to you anymore. No one's gonna want to associate with you because you're the guy that tried to beat a lady. Except for other people. I mean, except for like some people who would understand, or would know, or just don't care. You know, but usually, like, when you're in a, like, I saw his house. People who live in places like that don't typically accept men that beat the shit out of women publicly and not get famous for that, but are known for that. You know, the second you get known as a woman beater, no one's going to accept you anymore. Him, now I think about it, yeah, like, he has every right to not go out there and do that, because the second he stepped out there, it would have destroyed his life. I've experienced things similar to this. I've never gone to prison and shit for putting my hands on a woman, but like, I've like had confrontations with girls when I was growing up, and they would accuse me of things, or they would you know, try and frame me for doing something to them, and I would get in trouble. I would get jumped, and then I would get blamed, and even after it was revealed that they were lying, even after multiple times of them doing that, people still looked at me like I was a fucking demon. Even if, you know what I mean? It's just,
you don't have to extrapolate it, Vito. You don't have to extrapolate it.
You know what? I walk around all day afraid of every woman I see because they
You
might
should
have
be.
a giant gun.
You should be afraid of any and every woman you see when you're outside, because any single one of them, if they're attractive enough, they can get you sent to prison with 3 little words. He raped me. And if she's attractive enough, and she seems believable, if she's good enough at acting and pretending to be freaked, good at acting, like she's been assaulted, you're gonna get sent to prison. And there's a lot of women who do make the cut for attractive enough that the public will believe her. You know what I mean? That's like majority women right there are attractive enough to get away with accusing a man of rape. Of any man of rape, even if she's never even know his name, or only just saw him once, be like, that man raped me. Suddenly, even if it doesn't, like, even if people don't believe you in the system, like through the system, she could just go and say that to some random guys, be like, hey, that guy raped me, go fuck him up, please. And most guys will. Most guys will be, oh, hell nah. They'll just immediately believe her and go kill that guy. You should be afraid of women. If you do not know a person, in general, have like a modicum of caution in the back of your head. That's just common sense. Be a little bit, just a teensy bit afraid of everyone. Not like real fear. Not like, oh my god, I'm gonna shit my pants fear. But like, be cautious. Have a brain. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I say I know what I mean more than Snoop Dogg does.
So that is, she did break the TOS.
I say it too much.
Yeah, because if you have beef with somebody and you show up to their house and post it, wouldn't that not be in some way a veiled threat?
No.
And it's clear.
Yes, it is. And also, if it's a woman doing it, you're helpless. Unless she's ugly.
I'm not being disingenuous.
Which sucks. That sucks that women who aren't as attractive have to deal with the opposite end of the situation of when they are assaulted and no one will believe them because they're not attractive enough, or because their reputation has been diminished by shitty people in their lives who have control over them, like parents or guardians that aren't good people, or even teachers and other kids. They have to go through basically what men go through every day, that kind of fear, not just of somebody doing something to you, but of being blamed for something they did to you and being punished for what other people did to you. Or even things that you didn't do. Just get blamed if something you're completely not associated with. It's unfortunate, honestly. Even some regular, like, women. And I don't like using the term ugly either. Because I've been an artist most of my life, so I don't really see people in terms of ugly and high. Like, I can because I understand that basic societal construct, but that's how I see it. When I say someone is ugly, I mean that means like to the standards that society has put up. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't mean I think that person is ugly. There are people in my life that I met that are, other guys are like, she's kind of blue, and I'm like, she seems hot to me. And that's just, it's preference. At that point, that's just preference. But you know what I mean? Like, to society, what is viewed as like a level of attractiveness that is, I'm just gonna assume y'all know what I mean.
There's nothing to really do anything.
Wait. Okay, I'm having an argument with you, and I show up
Jesus.
to your house. What's the threat?
You serious?
The threat is you might physically do something to me.
Wait.
That might
What
be
if
the threat? That's what I would
we're
logically think.
Yeah, that's logic. If somebody pulls up to your fucking house, does this dude not grow up in the hood or any kind of suburb outside of a bad city? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Actually, what is the definition of the hood? Now I think about it. Y'all know what I mean. Because whether it's in the city or in a suburb, there are ghetto, or even in the country, there's ghetto shit. In the country, ghetto is pretty much just redneck. It's basically just country ghetto. I'm gonna be honest. I've been thinking about that a lot. Is that there's a lot of intersection between ghetto and country, not country, and redneck. They're kind of just equivalents of each other a little bit. Not entirely, not one for one, but there's like a lot of cross section. That's a different conversation. But like, has this dude never lived in a kind of a sketchy neighborhood? Like, when you show up on somebody's lawn uninvited after y'all have been beefing, or after you call out that person, that means they're there to kill you. There is no other meaning. You know what? There is something that I learned growing up that perfectly encapsulates why, like, that Sniper Wolf is not only wrong, but also kind of a bitch. Like, in the sense of how you would call a man a bitch. Because if you are not willing to either kill someone or be ready for them to kill you, do not make a threat. If Sniper Wolf, I guarantee you, if he had come out, she would have immediately freaked out, and she would have tried to have him arrested or some shit, because she seems like that kind of little bitch, a little punk ass bitch to do that. Even if she won the fight, she would do that. I don't know. I'm just spiraling because I'm so angry at what she's done and how some people are responding to it. Actually, just this one guy.
I wouldn't even know if you were strapped, so I don't know. You could shoot me if you show up to my fucking house because we're so against
we're having
each
a
other.
disagreement. I can't show up to your house and talk to you about it.
That's not the same thing, because if you announce that you're about to, like, if Sniper Wolf had called him, be like, hey, I'm gonna show up at your house. I want to talk. I'm coming to your house right now. Even that would have been like somewhat reasonable, because then you could at least be like, hey, don't bring any guns, no gangs. Like, when I say gang, I don't mean like a crime gang. I just mean like a group of people. Don't bring a large group of people to my house, which is a reasonable thing. Just be like, if you want to talk, you and me, fine. That's fine. At least you're telling me that you're coming over. You know, like giving me a heads up. Be like, hey, I'm not trying to fuck you up. I just want to talk. But she didn't do that because she wanted to fuck him up. She wanted to try and fuck him up. Or at least attack him so that she could accuse him of attempted rape. Or attempted assault of some sort. Because that's what women like Sniper Wolf do.
No! What the
No!
fuck?
There's an age-old doctrine that I truly believe in. And you know what it's called? It's called get off my property.
Exactly.
Obviously, it's the same tactic that's used before.
Wait.
It's called get off my property.
I know it's a revolver, but what model is that specifically? I know some things about guns, but I don't know enough to be able to tell from that one frame.
Obviously, it's the same tactic that's used before where
Looks
you
a
go
little
after
older than
someone's
me.
personal information as opposed to settling things in private conversations or even
Exactly.
on platform, on like a stream or something. It's like you can't just go
Like-
wherever the fuck you want. You know what I mean? I think every sane, reasonable individual agrees with Jack and is on his side.
Yeah.
And many people felt that what she did warranted immediate, swift, decisive action. It took YouTube a week to take such action
And
by
they just leave that
demonetizing
in.
her channel. Another one bites the dust. Oddly,
It
though,
is
in YouTube's
temporary.
response on Twitter, they said,
Shit.
off-platform actions that put others' personal safety at risk harm our community, and the behavior on both sides isn't what we want
Fuck,
on
I keep
YouTube.
knocking the thing. On both sides.
Both sides.
He didn't
You
do
know, I
anything.
completely agree. There were
They're
two
doing this because she's like their poster child at this point. This is just them
sides in
protecting one
World
of
War
their
II.
assets.
And we're never taught Hitler's side in history class. Was he really that bad of a guy?
What's funny about this really is that their actions betray their feelings on the matter too, because if YouTube truly believed that they were both in the wrong, then why is Sniper Wolf the one getting the temporary monetization ban while Jack
They're
is
doing-
fine? They know what she did was fucked up, but they've endorsed her before. And they've endorsed her super recently, and I think they just don't want to deal with that.
In all seriousness,
They
I
should've
don't
just
think Jack
fired
has
her.
done
They should've
anything wrong,
unendorsed her.
But I think from YouTube's perspective, they look at his second channel where every video features the same creator, and they falsely equate it to harassment.
This guy's entire channel is just me. Every single video for the past few months.
Because you're a fucking thieving lunatic. Make some decent, well thought out content, and people won't be coming at you like this. You're only famous because you're hot and you're looking at good content. That's the only reason you're famous. You have no skills that you've presented to YouTube. Otherwise, any one of these people, even TheActMan, even Jack's Films, and especially TheActMan, would have mentioned it by now. People would have mentioned, why isn't this person doing that thing they used to do that they were actually really good at? Prime example, Nikocado, Avocado. People shit on him constantly for basically being a really shitty person and like destroying his health. And you know, a lot of people point out how he used to play the violin really well. They mentioned that. They're like, well, why don't you go back to playing the violin? You're really good at that. Why didn't you just become a music channel like Samuel Kim? They didn't say Samuel Kim, but like people like would mention that. Nobody's mentioned that about her because she has no marketable skills. She's just hot. That's it. That's the entirety of her platform, is being she's Catwoman, but with less skill. She's a lazy ass Catwoman. That's what the fuck she is. And this is why I don't like Catwoman too. I bet this is some
About
shit
me.
Catwoman would do.
And it's just like shitting on me. And then his
Kinda what
streams.
she is doing in
This
Gotham
dude
War.
is just like low-key harassing me. Like, should I get a restriction?
He's not harassing you. The only reason you even know is probably because other people told you. Or because you stumbled on his videos on your own. He's not showing up at your house like, what you did was harassment. What you really did was threaten him. And as you pulling up and trying to start a fight, and you really should be at least investigated by the police for that. But what he did was all he did was create genuine criticisms and like express his frustration with your really shitty and exploitative channel. Why would YouTube even endorse her? I don't understand.
Training
I've
order?
seen her content
In
before.
reality, Jack's Films is a channel dedicated to
Jack's Films.
essentially pointing a finger at a thief and then making it clear who that thief is stealing from.
And people didn't believe me when I was a kid, but if you point out that a woman is doing something wrong, you will get in trouble. I kept trying to tell people about this shit when I was a kid. Because I would point out something a girl is doing wrong, and then suddenly everyone's saying that I was the one doing it. That happened to me all the fucking time when I was a kid. And now it's happening to this grown man. I fucking told everyone I knew this. Fucking knew it.
That's not harassment. Perhaps YouTube sees it as a similar situation with what happened to Leafy, right? He made several videos on Pokimane before he got banned. But
Shit, I forgot about Pokimane. What happened to her? Actually, I don't even care. I never really
If he
watched
actually
her. The
did
only reason I
stuff
know
like
about
raid
her
her
is because of
Discord,
Internet City
Jack
and
is just critiquing.
Russia
But this
Badger,
also
'cause they
brings up
mentioned
an
her.
important point. How many videos can you make criticizing someone or something before it becomes harassment?
I'm gonna be honest. It is kind of weird how many videos he's made of her. Like TheActMan, when he was criticizing Quantum TV, he kind of kept it like sparse. Like he didn't make like 1,000 videos about it. Like every once in a while, whenever he did hot takes, he would end up like mentioning Quantum TV, and then when Quantum TV stirred up a bunch of shit, then he made like, I don't know, 2 more videos about him. That's about it. Like he didn't spend this much time. Like that's an insane amount of videos to
I
make
have
about
no
one
issue when
person.
somebody makes multiple videos. We're all technically, in a sense, maybe not the TheActMan more or less, but we've all made videos on the same topic multiple times. Most of us in this call.
See,
I don't have any.
I love that he points out that TheActMan doesn't do that either. I'm glad that somebody else like mentioned it. Somebody who's like famous or popular has like influence did mention that TheActMan doesn't just make a million videos about one person.
Yeah,
because it's kind of a shitty thing to be having your name attached.
3.3. Yeah, the 3.3.
Yeah, but he doesn't make like months worth of
I
videos.
especially love the part where YouTube says off-platform actions that put others' personal safety at
Yeah,
risk.
doesn't apply when Quantum TV does it, does
A year
it?
ago, but you know, better late than never. Less than 1 hour after YouTube's tweet, Sniper Wolf posted a half-assed generic chat GPT apology, twice misspelling the name of the creator she doxed. I'm sorry.
Okay, to be fair, she probably just heard it be called Jack's Films and didn't know that there were J's. I mean, that's actually no, because she's actually seen this channel.
Jack's
Never mind.
film. Yes, just the one. He's only made one film. Probably should have proofread this a little. I mean, look, man, I know it's not that important, but you gotta
That's
at least
nitpicky.
get his name right. I am
She
sorry
really
for
doesn't.
reacting the way I did. You just had to sneak that in there, didn't you? Lady, you've been reacting poorly for like 5+ years. I'd also like to thank YouTube for holding me accountable. I
hilarious.
deserve it. Respect the decision and appreciate the opportunity to learn and grow.
Only
through
because she's already filthy rich and knows that she's gonna get remonetized anyway.
and judgment.
I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment.
And I also don't like this idea.
That was weird. I didn't know he made him an apology video. That seems kind of genuine too. It's only a clip though.
Appreciate the
But it
opportunity to learn and
seems
grow
like a
from a
real
true
apology.
lapse in judgment.
Honestly, what happened in that forest? You know what? I didn't want to get involved in that drama, so I didn't really learn a lot about it. Did he do that on purpose? Did he show someone that killed themselves on purpose and then like make jokes about it, or did people just get up in arms because he didn't take down a video of a guy in the suicide forest having done suicide? You know what I mean? I don't.
I've made a severe and continuous.
See, he did
lapse
say
in my
continuous.
judgment.
And I also don't.
The Paul thing. If he made jokes about that and he got crucified for that, that is his fault. If he hadn't, I would understand why he made those jokes, because a lot of people in my generation make jokes about stuff like that. I make jokes about killing myself. But that's mostly to deal with the fact that I almost did and have tried to a few times in my life. And I don't know. I don't have the energy to deal with the Paul
I don't
thing.
like this idea that this 30-year-old woman
I'll do
who's
the-
been a
maybe I'll do
content
a video
creator
on that
for
later.
a very long
Like a
time,
retrospect video.
just somehow didn't know that doxing was too much. So I'm not buying this whole like.
Okay, not knowing doxing was bad would be one thing, but not knowing it's too much, if that is really the way that she presented it, is that she didn't know that was taking it too far, I could see that. I could see that mistake. It's not a reasonable mistake, but it's an understandable mistake, especially considering she's clearly a lunatic and very stupid, and that her only like quality attribute is her own physical attractiveness as per the standards of society. It's really her only redeeming quality is that she's hot, it seems like.
Oh,
She's
it was a
alright.
lapse
I
in
like
my
her
judgment.
jawline, I
It
guess.
wasn't a
but,
lapse
like,
in judgment. How insane do you have to be for that to
She
be a
shouldn't be
lapse
this
in judgment
popular,
in the
to be
first
honest.
place?
She should just
But
be
I think
like
this
a
might be the
McDonald's
funniest part of the entire
cashier.
story, as the day before posting this apology, she re-uploaded a video from her main channel to her second channel. As someone who went through demonetization and talked with YouTube staff and whatnot, she almost certainly knew before uploading this that she was going to be demonetized. And if you're demonetized and you upload something somewhere else to try and circumnavigate that, YouTube does not fuck around with that, okay? She was probably advised not to upload anything for a few days at the very least, just like the day before. That's crazy. I think her intentions are pretty clear at this point. She honestly doesn't give a fuck, probably doesn't feel bad at all about what she did. When my channel got demonetized, I waited 9 days before I uploaded something on my second channel, before I tested the waters. I was too distraught to make content. Like, bro.
What the fuck? I've been a fan of this dude for years. How the fuck did I not know? I did know. I just forgot because I never watched it.
Come
That's
on.
why.
And it's literally just a reposted old
channel.
video.
I might start
Like some
watching
random
HARASS TV though.
Now, it's interesting that
Remember those
nobody
reactions
is
of it?
upset
That'd be
that
hilarious.
Instagram hasn't taken any action against her. Just thought I'd point that out. So here's a big question. What should happen to Sister Sniper Wolf? What she did was wrong.
No way. Oh, shit. No way. He did a video on Cocaine Bear? That's so cool. Why does he have a thing about Mr. Beast being horrible? I thought he was really nice. Logan Paul is in it. What the? Oh, okay. He's making jokes about what people say about the people. Okay.
It's YouTube's terms of
That
service.
confused me for a second. I'm
Does
like,
it warrant
what?
a complete ban across
I
the board?
assumed that he was making
Some
a joke
people
on the
agree
Mr.
with
Beast
that,
thing.
while others think that type of action is too drastic. Now, if we were talking about someone who was incredibly stupid and ignorant, or perhaps
She
very,
seems
very
dumb.
young and new to this, I might be able to look past the whole doxing thing as I honestly didn't know what I did type of moment.
Okay. Yeah, if she was that stupid. I think she's stupid enough to think that doxing was a good idea. I don't think she's stupid enough to not realize it was, you know.
But Mrs. I got arrested for armed robbery isn't stupid.
I knew she was fucking crazy. Holy shit, thank God he didn't go out there. He would have gotten his shit blown up. She definitely went there strapped. There's no fucking way. Don't come at me with that, well, she's a criminal. She can't own a gun. That doesn't mean anything to criminals. That just means they probably have even more guns now. That they just hide better. She probably has more. She probably has just
She
as
knew
many guns
exactly
as a
what
Texan
she was
gun
doing.
nut, bro.
Weaponizing your
Not to
audience
shit on
against
Texans,
another
just saying
creator in
crazy.
such a way,
I love guns
when you
too, by
are
the
at
way.
such a high level, is simply
Banging into my
inexcusable.
table. That's it. I'm done. Lowering it a little
The
bit
more I
more.
think about it, the more
I'd
I
rather
agree
look short.
Sniper Wolf should not have a platform.
Well, it's
Someone
not
who
about looking
treats
short,
the
it's like you
ecosystem
seeing me.
in such a reckless, irresponsible way is a liability for YouTube. Exposing a hater to her millions of potentially unhinged, sycophantic followers
See?
in the hopes that
This, I didn't use sycophant. That's a good word. I haven't used that word in a long time. But, like, that's exactly what I said, like, half an hour ago. Like, you just exposes this man to, like, 5 million plus people that might actually fucking kill him or his family. Like, you're lucky you're not dead. The first thing that you should have said in that tweet is, thank God Jax Films didn't shoot me in my face from his window. Like, that should have been the first thing you said. Thank God I
that one
didn't
of
get
them
my
might be
ass
crazy
killed
enough to do
and my
something
sister killed.
is fucked up. She has effectively drawn people's eyes to where he lives and to look up that information themselves. I'm sorry, man, but the bigger your channel is, the higher the standards you should be held to. This is a channel that YouTube has promoted in the past. That's doubly embarrassing for them. There's no way she didn't know what she was doing, especially when her dumbasses made videos about fans that stalked her and followed her home. And again, if Sniper Wolf actually felt genuinely apologetic towards Jax Films, she would have posted this almost immediately.
Took her a week, by the way, to address this. Instead of understanding immediately that that's something that you just don't do, it took her a week.
I disagree with that a little bit. I think sometimes it takes people a hot minute to realize what they did was wrong. I've had that. I've done things that were wrong and didn't realize it until much later. I'm like, oh, that was bad. I shouldn't have done that. And if I had the chance to apologize, I would. I've even done that on the fucking road. There have been a couple times where I've accidentally cut people off because I looked around and stuff. I did all this stuff, but I just didn't see them, or I didn't register it in my brain. So I looked around. I hear a honk. I go there. So like, I'll pull to the side. I'll be like, hey, I'll try. At least I'll try. Usually they're too angry to want to slow down. I'll be like, hey, I'm sorry. You know, or if they do take the time to slow down or park next to on the side of the road with me, I'll be like, hey, I'm really sorry for cutting you off. My bad. I didn't see you. Legit. Totally my fault. Like, I'll apologize. So I could see her not, if she did actually realize later on, even if it was just like a week, and she realized, yeah, that was bad. I could see that. That's actually something I could genuinely see and believe.
To really marinate on this, to be like, maybe I shouldn't
It's
have
just
done
the
this
way she's doing it, though. It makes it
So why
clear that
hasn't
she's
Sniper Wolf been
apologetic.
permanently banned? A lot of people early on, myself included, felt impatient with YouTube's lack of immediate action.
It's because she makes them a lot of money.
And out of pure gamer rage, I talked a bunch of shit. And I forgot how this process works, right? YouTube is a massive ship. And big ships take a long time to turn. If we're heading towards a waterfall, might be time to start.
I once again disagree. Because they didn't take a long time to turn on you. They took them 5 seconds to turn on you when you made a joke. She actually did the thing. They should have immediately banned her permanently. They honestly should have sued her or something. There has to be something in what she did that's suable. Anything. And to her content, or at least go after her content. And sue her for that. Copyright strike, copyright claim everything. Take all her money. I don't really know how that stuff works in like the specific details, but you get what I'm saying. Like, take her money, maybe even take her freedom again. It seems that she hasn't stopped robbing people. Forehead kisses. Who's a good boy? Who's a good muffin?
Or changing course. So deciding what punishment to lay on one of the most popular creators isn't something that should be rushed or taken lightly. But for a channel this size, I can see from YouTube's perspective not wanting to completely ban her.
Because she makes them
She
a lot
is
of
a
money.
terrible content creator, a stalker, a thief, a fake, and an overall shitty human being.
I mean, do you really want well, no, her past shouldn't really matter that much.
But she makes YouTube a lot of money. It might be a drop in the bucket, but it's a pretty big drop. When I talked on that Twitter space thing, I think it was Nick DeOrio or Optimus that brought up a very good point. YouTube might not ban her because she's stealing content from their competitors and re-uploading it on YouTube. Yes,
That's a good
she's
point.
stealing viral TikToks. And from YouTube's perspective, it's like
shit.
the best of both worlds, right? Why go to TikTok when you can just go to Sniper Wolf's channel? That's a damn good point. Sniper Wolf's world might be collapsing around her. There had been rumors floating around for many years that Sniper Wolf had been faking her gameplay videos.
She probably
or that
is.
someone else provided the gameplay. These
I mean, look at her posture. That's not the posture of somebody who's gaming. That's a posture of somebody who's
Collapsing around her.
reacting. Look at that. She's not sitting like a gamer would in the middle of an intense deathmatch thing. Like in a first-person shooter, I've never seen anyone sit that calm and that straight. Well, to be fair, I don't really pay attention to people when they're playing games. I'm usually paying attention to the game mostly. I don't pay it that much mind, but now that I'm looking at it, it's a weird posture for her to have. She's not leaning forward. Her arms aren't spread out, so because she has to be like this, and her arms aren't outstretched, showing that she's on a keyboard. She's sitting like this, like she's sitting in a chair, not doing anything. Back straight, arms straight, pulled in tight, but not like super tight, like clean. She doesn't look like she's gaming.
Or that someone else provided the gameplay. These suspicions have more or less been confirmed as her ex-boyfriend Sausage is suing Sniper Wolf for 50% of the channel.
That's
He sued her.
hilarious.
And in the lawsuit, he basically argues that she can't go on and use the brand to make money and exclude him from all that revenue. Because remember, they started it together, and he claims he owns 50%.
He alleges that he was the major creative force behind the content, that he provided the gameplay, scripts, and even produced the videos. Sniper Wolf's job was to sit there and react to the gameplay and pretend like it was her playing. Since Sniper Wolf built her name off of being a relatively pretty woman who was pretty good at Call of Duty, this lawsuit is pretty fucking damning.
Yeah,
I think it's safe to say
she's
that
screwed, bro.
from the very beginning, Sniper Wolf has built her brand on lies and deception.
This lady is.
I mean, look, I know I said earlier not to really look at her past because it's really the character of a person, like of who they are today as a person, is what you should look at generally instead of their past. Because I've known people with sketchy pasts that are honestly really good people, and they've moved on from that sketchy past, and they're honest, hardworking people, and they're very kind. Even members of my family, they've not necessarily been criminals, but they weren't always good people. But they're good people now. And I love them, and I respect them. And I don't bring up their shitty past, because it's not important. But at the same time, she's a thief who has a history of violent robbery, of armed robbery, of a violent crime, who is now continuing to commit the same crime just on the internet. She's literally doing the same thing she went to prison for. I don't understand.
Bitch in the fucking 7 Seas.
But as luck would have
I
it,
keep turning the
somehow
captions on
she
by
gets
accident. It
worse.
must be a button
Like,
on the
doxing is one of
keyboard.
the lowest things you can do as a
cancel?
public figure, and if there's anything on the platform that warrants a deplatform, like,
No?
doxing is at least in the top 3 things.
Well, Mr. Raygun, if doxing is in the top 3 reasons to deplatform someone, where does sexualizing minors stand?
What the
Pedo Wolf had a
fuck?
few videos on her channel where she convinced minors to twerk in exchange for a glimpse at her boobs.
You want to explain yourself? What are you doing? Making a mistake. Making a mistake.
Sexualizing minors for entertainment is, well, there's no shovel big enough to dig you out of that hole. Sniper Wolf has also apparently violated YouTube's policies on child safety. Sexually explicit content featuring minors and content that sexually exploits minors, including minor nudity with comedic intent. That summarizes these clips perfectly.
Yeah.
Sure, you could argue they were made with comedic intent.
The most replayed thing is
But
gross.
what's the joke? Minors are twerking on camera because they want to see your tits? I've
I
heard 1,000
mean, on paper, if someone told me that kids were doing that, I would laugh. I would think that's hilarious because they're stupid, and that's a ridiculous thing to do. But I wouldn't want to watch it. I even did a reaction where it showed these girls dancing, and I was immediately uncomfortable because I knew they were kids, and I'm like, this is weird, and they're doing weird adult movements, but they're kids, and this is gross. Ew. You know, like, I don't want to see kids shaking their ass. I don't care if their ass is pointing away from the camera. It's kind of weird. It's just weird because usually when I see a woman shaking her ass, it's usually an adult, and I'm thinking something entirely different than when I'm looking at kids doing it. I don't want to see kids do that. That's creepy and gross and like, ew. I don't want to see. Like, if anything, it's adorable that they're trying to act like adults, and it's funny in that way, like when a puppy does something hilarious. You know, it's that kind of puppy cuteness. It's like, oh, you're adorable. You're trying to be grown up. That's the extent of it. Otherwise, ew, gross. Anything outside of that is gross.
The 9/11 jokes
haha,
are funnier than
or
that.
aw.
As people continue
Anything else is
digging into
nasty.
her past, she has been removing
Or
potentially
anger. I guess
controversial videos.
anger, to an extent, is acceptable. Be like, why are you doing this? This is not appropriate for someone your age. That shit, that's also acceptable as long as you're being respectful and reasonable. You know what I mean?
To cover her tracks. So in conclusion, doxing is bad. Don't do it.
No shit.
Say that again.
I'll say it before and I'll say it again. YouTube.
I want a reboot of The Room. I want a reboot of... Excuse me, this is off topic, but I just saw a clip and I've been thinking about this for years. I want a full reboot of The Room, but with good writing. I think it can be done, because on paper, The Room sounds like a good movie. A dude has... So, like, just a guy whose best friend and girlfriend betray him, or wife, I actually don't remember. And let's say wife. Friend and best friend and wife, no. Okay, wife and best friend cheat on guy, and then plan to, like, kill him or get him sent to prison or something, or pretend that she hit him so that they can take everything he has without question. You know what I mean? Like that kind of like getting scammed by your best friend and your wife. That on paper, that sounds like a good movie to me.
It should be a place where we can all hate each other and coexist.
Execution,
Internet
apparently.
beef should never be drawn into the real world unless both parties consent. Remember to ask Jesus. And the more you look at Sniper
Wait,
Wolf,
what?
Where we can all hate each other and coexist. Internet beef should never be drawn into the real world unless both parties consent. Remember to ask Jesus. And the more you look at Sniper Wolf, her actions and content, the less respect you should have for her. I think given her status, age, and experience, she should absolutely be deplatformed and permanently banned off YouTube. There's simply no excuse.
Honestly, either that or they should demand that she no longer does reaction videos and that she does other kind of videos. How fucking funny would that be to watch her struggle to actually be creative?
I suppose we can take some solace in knowing that she'll at least lose out on a month's worth of revenue, but as Keemstar put it,
for me, I just gotta say this: if she did that to me and came to my house, I would really want her banned. Like I would want her banned. And this would feel like an injustice to me.
But for Jack and his wife, I imagine this is little satisfaction. All in all, Sniper Wolf is terrible, and we should all continue to make fun of her and credit the creators she has been stealing from. But what do you think? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to TheActMan.
Subscribe to TheActMan, by the way. I know I'm subscribed, and I have the bell icon clicked. That's how I knew this video came up. Subscribe to him. He's amazing. You should watch his content. Especially if you're one of the few people that watch my content. You'll love his shit way more. Well, that may not be true. Because he makes stuff mostly about video games and shit. And I just do reactions and occasionally play video games. I'm trying new things. I don't know. Anyway, that was it. I don't like Sniper Wolf. She pisses me off, obviously. Let me know how you feel about Sniper Wolf down in the comments. Alright? I love you. I'll see you later. I'm gonna go destroy my bathroom now. Bye!